Alright guys, so we are in the middle of November already, which is pretty crazy. I mean, we're slowly but surely approaching December already, and of course, Thanksgiving is coming up, so definitely there's quite a bit I have to check up on for my monthly favorites video. So let's go ahead and roll the titles now, shall we? My name is Kirsten. So, like I mentioned in the beginning, we're in the middle of part of November already, which is kind of crazy. So, of course, that means I'm going to be doing another monthly favorites video. Now, some of you guys are wondering, like, why is everything in this room so echoey? And you guys are probably wondering why the background is completely empty almost. So if you guys haven't seen this already, I will go ahead and link it up in the cards for you guys to go ahead and check out. But also I'm gonna explain a little bit more further in depth in the whole little travel and events section. So I will get to that here in a moment, that I do promise you. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and get started into my October monthly favorites. So let's go ahead and begin. Alright, so to go ahead and completely begin with some of the movies and TV shows that I had a chance to watch, of course, I thought I would go ahead and start with the TV shows that I had a chance to watch. So I want to say back in my previous monthly favorites video, I believe it was sometime last year, I mentioned to you guys that I watched a anime called Kekigurai, at least I think that's how you pronounce it. So this one is called Kekigurai XX / season 2. I was really impressed with the anime. It was pretty interesting, I thought. I'm really glad that I had a chance to watch the second season, and I think the second season is actually pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. And I wouldn't mind watching more of their episodes when they come out in the future, so I think they're really cool. I also had a chance to watch season 7 of The Vampire Diaries. I know I mentioned sometime last month that I didn't think I would be able to watch season 7 or to finish all last 2 of those seasons. So luckily I did had a chance to finish off one season in particular, and I thought it was pretty interesting, I'm not gonna lie. Also, there was like a little mini series that I had a chance to watch called When They See Us. My grandmother was telling me about a case that happened during like the late 80s, which I thought was a pretty interesting film, and it also hit me in places where it really did hurt. So it really did broke my heart that, you know, those poor boys went through hell over like a crime they didn't commit, and luckily it did get a happy ending, so I'm really happy about that. Thank goodness that these men are living their best life now, so that is really amazing to hear. It's such an incredible story, and also a very depressing one at that too. So When They See Us is a very interesting, impactful movie, I'm not gonna lie, or TV show, sorry. So now that I explained all the TV shows that I had a chance to watch, I figured I would go ahead and dive right on into the movies that I had a chance to watch. So there's this foreign film I had a chance to watch called First They Killed My Father. It's like an Indian foreign film about like the war that was taking place after Vietnam, which I thought was pretty interesting. It was directed and produced by Angelina Jolie, so I thought that was a really interesting little movie that I had a chance to watch, I'm not gonna lie. So these other 2 movies that I had a chance to watch, I participated in a little film festival event, which I will get to later on during like the travel and events section of this video, but basically there was like a few little indie films that I had a chance to watch. The first one is called Talk. It is with William Baldwin that played in that movie, and in case if you don't know who William Baldwin is, I think he is Alec Baldwin's brother, I believe, and I thought it was a pretty interesting little short film that I had a chance to watch, so I thought it was really cool. Another short film that I had a chance to watch, it is called Tick. It's about like this guy with like this Tourette syndrome, which I thought was really cool. And of course, I had a chance to watch, it's like a foreign indie French film, and I'm looking at my phone real fast just in case if I'm making sure I pronounce it okay. The movie is called Paris La Blanche, I think it's called. And basically it is about like this older woman that's looking for her husband, and I thought it was pretty interesting, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, there's like this little tradition that I tend to go by for Halloween pretty much. And basically what it is I pull an all-nighter and I start watching a bunch of horror films, which I thought was really interesting. Now, unfortunately, because I had my movies put away, because obviously I'm gonna be moving pretty soon, but basically I had a chance to rent a few movies and I had a chance to watch a couple of horror films on Netflix. So I want to go ahead and begin with a few movies that I had a chance to rent. And the first one I wanted to go ahead and mention, it is called Pet Sematary. Now, I remember seeing like the original one a long time ago with my dad, and then I watched the remake of this movie, and the remake of this movie I actually thought was a lot more better than the original. I mean, it's pretty creepy in its own little unique kind of way, which I think is pretty interesting, I'm not gonna lie. This next film I want to go ahead and mention, I figured I would watch it just for fun, you know. And basically this film is called Trick. It's about like this serial killer that goes on like this mass killing spree during the season of Halloween, which I think is pretty interesting, I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't a huge fan of the movie though, so yeah, there's that. During my previous monthly favorites video, I mentioned to you guys that I watched a horror film called Don't Breathe. The same director that made, you know, Don't Breathe happen. I had a chance to watch this movie Crawl, and it's about like these people that are trapped in this house that's filled with alligators under like a really bad, I believe it's taking place during Florida, so I want to say there's like a really bad hurricane that was like happening. They're trapped in the house because of the alligators and stuff, so I was actually really impressed with the movie actually, so I thought that was pretty cool that I had a chance to watch that film. The next movie I had a chance to rent is one of these Rob Zombie films, and it's like a continuation from The Devil's Rejects, and the sequel to that is called 3 from Hell. And I gotta say, a lot of times I am so impressed with Rob Zombie's films. I absolutely love all of his films, except for The Lords of Salem, which I wasn't a huge fan of. But other than that, I absolutely love almost all of his films, and I think 3 from Hell was actually a pretty good movie. And so from Netflix, I had a chance to watch a few movies from there as well. The first movie I wanted to mention that I had a chance to watch, it is called American Psycho. It is with Christian Bale that played in the movie, and I gotta say, it was very twisted in its own little unique way, which I think is actually really cool. So I thought it was a pretty interesting movie. Christian Bale is a pretty good actor, so I was really impressed with his acting quite a lot. And then, of course, as you guys know, I grew up watching the Goosebumps movies and TV shows when I was a kid, so I had a chance to watch 2 Goosebumps film specials. The first one I want to mention is called The Werewolf of Favor Swamp. That's been my longtime favorite for as long as I can remember. I absolutely love the film so much. And of course the second one I want to mention is called Welcome to Dead House. I actually think that's a pretty cool Goosebumps film as well. So yeah, those are the two Goosebump movies that I had a chance to watch. Another horror slash thriller type of movie that I had a chance to watch, it is called Emily. It's about like this twisted, psychotic woman that, you know, is pretending to be the babysitter. I thought it was pretty interesting as well. It kind of reminded me of like that Babysitter movie, except without the comedy related stuff in that film, so I thought that was pretty interesting. And of course, last Halloween special movie that I had a chance to watch, but most definitely not least, it is a Spanish film and it is called Veronica. And now, this film is of course about a girl named Veronica, and basically what Veronica is all about is it's about like this girl who basically had fun with like her friends doing like this Ouija board to contact somebody from the other side of the spirit realm. Veronica became possessed, and from then on there she's been haunted and having her little siblings get haunted and terrorized by like this vengeful spirit that was like in her house. So I thought that was a really interesting film, and unfortunately I ended up sleeping during parts of the films, so I had to go back and actually watch it twice. And watching the movie all the way through this time, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I actually think this movie was quite so creepy and chilling in a way. And I'm usually about as tough as nails and I can handle horror films really well. But for some weird reason, out of all of the vengeful ghost stories that I actually thought was pretty terrifying, Veronica I felt like was just a very chilling and disturbing film to watch. So I think after I ended up watching that film, I felt like I was like chilled to the bone pretty much, and it was really creepy, I'm not gonna lie. So if you guys are interested in having me do like a horror film review sometime in the future, do leave a like or do leave it in the comment section down below, and I'll be sure to mention that sometime in the future actually. So I was really impressed with that movie. So yeah, those have been all of my Halloween all-nighter marathon that I thought I would be sharing with you guys. So now let's go ahead and move on to the next section of this video now, shall we? So for the whole little events and travel section part of this video, so there's actually quite a few things that I thought I would go ahead and mention to you guys. The first thing that I thought was actually pretty exciting for me to kind of participate in, these acting courses that I'm currently taking as of right now. Every year during the month of October, they have like a little film festival that was happening during that time, and luckily I went ahead and I went to go experience that film festival event for myself, and I was with like a few of my classmates slash friends that I decided to go along with. I had such a good time just hanging out with the girls and just having a nice little drink with them, and having to go into this film festival and watch those 3 films that I mentioned earlier. It was just a lot of fun, and it was of course an incredible moment that I had a chance to experience. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys have pretty much already known that I mentioned about this film festival, and it was a lot of fun, and I thought it was a really interesting little experience that I had a chance to experience, obviously. So sometime in the future, and especially if I progress more further into my acting career, I would love to participate in more like film festivals and things like that. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that so much. And of course, speaking of, you know, acting classes earlier, so I had a chance to participate in 2 more acting classes. So if you guys have watched my September monthly favorites video, you guys have already known about this by now. But I took like a beginner's acting class in the past, and this time I had a chance to take 2 more courses related to acting. The first one I signed up for was like a voice lessons class, and it's very interesting to learn a little bit more about voice acting, which I think is really cool. And of course, since I finished taking a beginner's acting course, I decided to participate in an intermediate course related to acting, and I think it's so much fun. And because I'm in the middle part of November, I'm almost done with those 2 classes in particular, and I'm kind of sad that those classes are beginning to end, but at the same time, I kind of know it's for the better, and it's like around the right time as well, because as you guys may or may not have known, I am going to be moving pretty soon, so I'm just kind of glad that it's ending the way it is during this month because of all this shit that I have to take care of, like behind the scenes and everything else like that, you know? And of course, speaking of moving, this one kind of broke my heart because, so not to get too personal or too deep with this video, but basically, my brother is basically working as like a paramedic, and as soon as he graduated from paramedic school, he had a really hard time like trying to find paramedic, EMS related jobs. So he had to move back to California because apparently in the city of Houston, the mayor ended up, I guess, laying off a bunch of like firefighters, I think, and all them kind of people. So it was really tough for him to find a job in those kind of departments. So he ended up, you know, moving back to California, and I'm really sad about that, but I knew it was for the better. I mean, I miss my brother, obviously. I miss his girlfriend, and I especially miss the baby. Like, the baby was just so dear to my heart, and it actually broke my heart that they ended up moving away. I cannot tell you, like, how many times that I ended up bawling before they end up leaving, and oh my god. I feel like I'm about ready to tear up already, so while that's happening, I figured I would go ahead and move on to another section of this video because I feel like I'm getting emotional already. I mean, seriously, I was bawling so much, the fact that my brother ended up leaving, but at the same time, I'm very understanding in that department because I knew it was for the better, and doing what he can to, you know, support his family, so I can understand that. But now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next section of this video, so let's go ahead and do that before I get more emotional. So of course, for the foods and snacks that I had a chance to try out, the first one I wanted to mention is more like a snack really, slash like, you know, something to hold me over until dinner type of deal, or maybe even lunch or breakfast. And basically, these are the Nature's Bakery fig bars, and I actually think they're very flavorful and tasty. These are the raspberry flavors, and luckily enough, they are vegan friendly, and they're very flavorful and delicious, and I absolutely enjoyed these fig bars so much. They make a really nice little snack. So the next thing I went ahead and tried out, basically in the past I tried out Opton's jackfruit, and I thought it was pretty good. Product by Opton's is basically like their chorizo seitan, which I thought was so tasty and so delicious. And I've been really loving seitan lately, and I think it's really good. And for those of you who do not know what seitan is, it's basically like a mock beef kind of thing. So I think it is really tasty and very flavorful and really good. So I'm not gonna lie, I actually enjoyed it very, very much. I also had a chance to try out Modern Oak's 5-berry flavor, which I thought was pretty tasty, I'm not gonna lie. It was actually really good. I also had a chance to try out the pumpkin spice apple cider flavor, which I thought was really good. And luckily it is vegan friendly, so the more the merrier. I thought it was really, really good. I mean, it's something I never thought of either before too, so I mean, who would have thought? Pumpkin spice and apple cider, it's really good and really tasty. I also got to try out Nature's Path crispy rice. It's basically like a veganized version of Rice Krispies, which I thought was really tasty, so I thoroughly enjoyed it, obviously. I also got to try out a couple of Gardein products. It's basically like the Italian sausage and pasta bowl, which is of course vegan friendly, so can't go wrong with that, right? I also got to try out one of their skillet meals again, and it is basically called the vegan chicken fiesta, and I thought it was pretty good and pretty tasty, I'm not gonna lie. It kind of reminded me of a chili almost, so I was really impressed with that. As you guys know, I enjoy vegan ice cream from time to time, and the one I decided to try out, it is basically made out of oat milk. It is basically the caramel apple crumble, which I thought was really tasty and really flavorful. I really enjoyed that flavor of vegan ice cream so much. It was so tasty and I was really impressed with it. That part I'm definitely not gonna lie. And then of course, last but definitely not least, there's a brand by Field Roast, and I thought I would try something a little bit different. And it is called the Fruffalo wings. And what's really interesting about like these vegan wings in particular is that it had like the spicy Italian vegan sausages that were made as like their wings, which I thought was pretty interesting. And all of these products I thought were really tasty, and of course vegan friendly, so you can't go wrong with either one of those things, right? So yeah guys, those were pretty much my favorite things to try out for the month of October. So for the random items section part of this video, I haven't mentioned anything about items in quite a while, so I thought I would go ahead and mention this right now while I still have these products with me. So, as you guys know, I get into vegan and cruelty-free makeup. There's another vegan and cruelty-free makeup that I decided to give a chance to try out. And it's basically like a gothic beauty cosmetics company. It is by Black Moon's Cosmetic, and there's been a couple of things that I've been loving from there recently. One of them I thought I would go ahead and mention is their liquid lipsticks, and this shade I'm actually wearing today. It is called Warrior. So it's really nice. It's basically like my second favorite thing right next to Kat Von D's Lolita, and I really love the formulas of these. They smell really nice and they smell exactly like a birthday cake, which is really nice, so I thought their liquid lipsticks are really excellent, and I would love to try more of these out in the future. And of course, another thing by Black Moon Cosmetics that I thought I would go ahead and bring up, but most definitely not least, it is called the Full Moon Palette, and it is called the Orb of Light, and I absolutely love this little packaging. It's really cool. And I thought I would show you guys like these really cool colors, and as you guys can see, I actually grabbed a few things of colors that I decided to try out, like using these colors, and this is the base obviously, and a few of these right here. What's really nice about these shadows is the fact that they're so pigment and they blend really well, and I wouldn't mind trying more of these out in the future because they're pretty awesome, I'm not gonna lie. And I don't know if you guys can see, but basically I'm wearing the Black Moon Cosmetics eyeshadow right now actually. I decided to use these 4 colors, I should say. They're actually really nice, very pigmented, and they blend so well, so I wouldn't mind getting more of these in the future. Alright guys, so that is basically pretty much everything that I thought I would share with you guys for my monthly favorites video for October. So my battery's getting ready to die, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up as quickly as I possibly can. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video very much. So if you did, be sure to sucker punch that like button down below. Comment down below as well, let me know what has been your favorites for the month of October. And of course, if you guys are completely new to this channel, and if you haven't done so already, please do dedicate the time and effort to subscribe to my lovely channel, join my little army of darkness, and of course if you hit that notification button, you will be updated with brand new videos every single Friday. And if you guys are interested in following me outside of YouTube, all of my social medias will be listed in the description box right down below if you are indeed interested in checking them out yourself. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a completely chill week, an awesome day or night, and I will talk to you all soon in the very next video. So until then, stay completely dark and so fucking brutal and awesome, my friends. Take care. Bye for now. And of course, my final Indiana vacation vlog is coming up very soon. And after that, I'll have to figure out what other videos I can make. So anyway, take care. Bye for now.